Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here, for clicking on the video, and for showing up. I hope that you're having a lovely evening out there. I just finished eating, finished washing the dishes, cleaning the kitchen, and it's time to get down and listen to some Rhys Chatham. Hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. We're going to listen to this track, War in Heaven. This is off of the album The Burn Project, which was released in 2010. Why are we listening to this? Because it was suggested and sponsored by Alan. Alan, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support as well. Really appreciate that. You said in your comments that Mr. Chatham specializes in creating hour-long symphonies featuring 200 plus electric guitars, which sounds really, really cool. And you said that this is a nice snippet to kind of get an introduction to him. You said he's like a punked up Lamar Young. Well, I'm very curious to hear this track, so that is what we're going to do. Could not find it on Spotify. I see that it was like either taken off or just unavailable in my country. So we are going to go ahead and listen to it here off of the Bandcamp, which I have pulled up here. I was going to do it off of YouTube, but better to be safe than sorry, right? So here's the Bandcamp page, which I will link below. I'm just going to click directly play from right here. And that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and listen to it. We'll discuss it a little bit after. Here we go. Why, but that kind of scared me. there is a number of you. There is there's a number. I can't say great, I can't say less, but there is a number of you that listen to the first. Can I back up and stuff on here? Yeah, that listened to this and said, no, it's not for me, and you just skip to this part right now. I'm talking to you. I'm speaking to you directly. I'm not saying you're going to love or like what comes after if you did skip all that and came to this point right here. But do me a favor and go back, because if you left while the music was doing all this, you missed something. You missed something. And like I said, you may not enjoy what came after, but you missed something though, however. Okay. We need to discuss this. Wow. I'm thinking, I'm processing my thoughts on this one, because the first half of it was like very drony. Ambient is not the word I would use, but just very drony. It sounds like didgeridoo or something, but I'm assuming that maybe it's guitar. It goes through these different wavelengths of pitches and sounds, and it has this like a didgeridoo, like wow, 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 like that kind of sound to it, and it just kind of creates this kind of feeling, this moment, and it stays there for a while. Okay, I get it. What can we learn from it? I get it. That's where my mindset is at that particular point. And as I'm speaking, I'm looking to see if I can find personnel list of like who's playing what, because that's going to be very important as we kind of move forward. I'm doing that as we speak, literally. And then like you have little subtle hints. Oh, geez, so subtle. Little by little, just little moments that are building up in the background. And when I say building up, I mean that in the lightest of senses, because it's like a blip. You hear the hi-hat. Okay, that kind of creates a rhythm at certain points. Okay, cool. I like that. I get it. I see where it's going. Then you begin to hear a bass that comes in. Okay, and the drums, and I mean besides the hi-hat, like, and all through this, like for example, with that hi-hat, there's a lot of volume changes and things. So at first the hi-hat is being played kind of very softly, subtly in the background in the dim light. And then out of nowhere, it kind of comes up a little bit, a little more light, just a little more light is shown upon it. And before you know it, little by little, these blips turn into moments, and these moments turn into what ends up being a cacophonous climax of just like torrential proportions. This basically turns from a kind of abstract drone track into basically a post-rock send-off and launch-off. The drums are absolutely brutal, and there's something very like satisfying to the way that they're being played. I like how they change throughout. Eventually, even in that moment, in that time, in the second half, the drums still change, adding in toms, adding in little fills, little more spaces. So it really does kind of morph into this post-rock greatness, which is kind of interesting that they go into this direction. Horns are brought in. Trumpets, from what I can assume. The bass line begins to change. Like, it all just morphs itself from something maybe a little unfamiliar, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, into something glorious, magnificent. And like thinking about the track name, War in Heaven. When I think of a War in Heaven, this is just where my mind kind of goes. I'm thinking of course, a clashing, right? And there is definitely a cacophonous and yet satisfying clash that's happening in here, especially with the drums marching and paving their way into battle. It's aggressive, but at the same time, it's tonally satisfying. It's extremely colorful. The horns and the trumpets and stuff kind of reminds me of like, what is it, Gabriel's horn, or the kind of the horn of war, right? Like I'm seeing like the angel with that long horn, like just kind of calling to battle. And as quickly as it comes up, it stays for a few minutes, and then it's over just like that. But I do like how long that goes on for. I couldn't tell you exactly how long it was, but it was definitely at least half of the track. So at least a good 5 minutes of just post-rock clash. So I'm on the actual website here for the album. It says an album of new Rhys Chatham, tracks with the band, something you haven't heard since Chatham on trumpet, there you go, and electric guitar. Okay, so that's what he's performing. 3 young Swiss musicians on bass, drums and trombone, and a lot of studio trickery. So I'm curious, that noise in the beginning that's happening here, because that kind of sounds like the staticky feedback of the guitar, perhaps from Chatham. More punk noise and drones than you would expect. He visited Bern. Okay, well, there you go, the Bern Project. Bern is a really cool place. The Bear Pit there is really cool. They rehearsed during the day, played a fabulous show at night. He was blown away by the skills of the drummer and the bass player, talked about plans to form a trio, and here we go. They recorded many hours of 3 of these sessions on a multi-track machine. Over the next few months, Mader listened to the recordings, separated the wheat from the chaff, selected the best parts, and made premixes. He even mixed different parts of the takes together and sent them to Rhys, who noted what he wanted to have changed or replaced. More than 100 hours of work, and here you go. Julian Sartorius is one of the most sought-after improv jazz drummers in Switzerland. I mean, he is fantastic here. Mego Fluke, part of Bern's garage rock scene. That's actually a great note right there. It does have a little bit of a garage rock kind of feel to it, huh? Like that rough rock and roll to it. Beats Artenaher has been a free improv activist, and goes on from there. That was really that was really impressive, and it completely different than what I thought, because truly, like, where it began and where it was going from there, it's completely different from where it eventually ended up. And it seemed at even some points, I couldn't say for sure, but it seemed at some points in the second half of the track, there were even some vocals of some sort. I couldn't say 100% for sure, but it did seem like it. I'm pulling it back here. And I'm so sorry, because that scared me, and I know that it scared you. I didn't mean for it to start playing. I apologize. It's going to start playing in 3, 2, 1. Right in there. And it sounds like warbled screams or cries or something. And it kind of reminded me of Goblin with the soundtrack to Suspiria. It kind of reminded me of like that in a way. Huh. That was definitely really interesting, completely different than what I thought it was going to be. And that was just really cool to listen to. I enjoyed that. That was really satisfying. Yeah. That was really good. Alan, thank you so much for the suggestion and the support. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate the introduction there, of course. Let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, in the comments down below. Hope that you enjoyed it as well. Maybe even if you didn't enjoy it, maybe you learned something from it. Maybe, even if like you don't enjoy something, I think there's always something to be gained and learned from any sort of art, whether you enjoyed it or not. But I hope that you did enjoy it. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.